Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place you come to when you want to make sense of all that noise online. We sift through the sources, connect the dots, and give you the knowledge you actually need.
That's right.
And today, we are jumping right into something that's causing an absolute frenzy online. We're talking about the entrepreneur, the influencer, Jayda Cheaves. You probably know her as Jayda.
Mm-hmm. She's definitely dominating the conversation right now.
She really is. And, our sources are just buzzing. Everything from her latest outfit, the one that basically split the internet, to, how she built her whole Wait-A-Min e-commerce brand.
It's quite the empire.
It is. So our mission today, it's pretty specific. We want to unpack how modern influence actually works. Using Jayda as like a case study, we're looking at the risk, the business smarts, and interestingly, this almost radical honesty she has, that big steppa energy.
Yeah, and to really get it, we kind of need to look at her influence through, let's say, 3 different angles.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's not just one photo, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's how all these things connect.
Okay, what are the angles?
So first, yeah, the style debate happening right now, the whole Drippin or Drownin thing,
Yeah.
it really shows her power to grab attention.
Right.
Second, the actual business plan behind Wait-A-Min, the success that lets her take these risks in the first place.
The foundation.
Exactly. And third, and this one's maybe underestimated, the impact of her being so incredibly transparent, sometimes brutally honest with her audience.
Okay.
You put those 3 together, and that's where you start to understand that big step of energy. It's not just confidence. It's knowing you can push forward, do your thing, whether people approve or not, and then actually make money from the whole reaction.
All right, let's dig in. Starting with the flashpoint, the thing that caused all the chaos this week, the outfit. I mean, it really did divide people, thousands of comments.
Yeah.
And it seems to come down to this clash of seasons, textures.
It's the combination, isn't it? The sheer audacity of putting those things together. It was so jarring, maybe. It just forced everyone to stop scrolling and have an opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so for anyone who missed it, the base layer, it's like warm weather vibes, right? A white bodysuit, it's got side cutouts, and then these tan leggings.
Screams summer.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe gym wear, resort wear, light, bodycon.
Exactly. But then the footwear just throws a complete curveball.
Total pivot.
She pairs it with these heavy, fuzzy, nude, over-the-knee boots.
Right. Which are clearly winter boots or, cozy indoor boots. Super textured, heavy looking. And that contrast, the light base with the heavy, fuzzy boots, that's where the whole fashion fight started. People were like, wait, what are the rules here?
And the confusion was so clear in the comments. You had the critics, let's call them Team Drownin. They weren't just saying they didn't like it, they were questioning the logic. Like that one comment, I hate a 2 different seasons outfit, but that's just me.
Yeah, that summed it up pretty well. And then there was that slightly harsher one, the girls are getting bored, basically saying she's trying too hard, just doing it for attention. Well, yeah. When someone super visible takes a fashion risk, people immediately jump to, is this genius-level styling, or did she just completely miss the mark?
So what did the defenders say? Team Drippin.
They pushed back hard. Their argument was basically, she is a trendsetter because she breaks those rules. The people criticizing are just scared to take risks themselves. We saw comments like, people who say she can't dress are the same people that wear what everyone else wears. She ate IDC.
Okay, but this is where it gets deeper, right? Into the actual power dynamics of influence, which is what we're really digging into here. The sources pointed out this idea people were openly calling the pass theory.
Yes, the pass theory.
Yeah. One user just laid it out. She'd just be wearing anything. But she fine, so we let her pass. Oh, it's like people are openly saying her status, her it girl factor gives her immunity. She gets a pass for things others wouldn't.
And that's a really critical point to unpack. Because the pass theory suggests influence isn't just about taste, it's about the status you already have.
Yeah.
But doesn't that kind of contradict her whole authentic vibe? If people only let it slide because she's seen as attractive or famous, is that real influence? Or just celebrity privilege?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Does taking a risk like this alienate some fans who feel like, hey, she's not being judged fairly? Or does it actually elevate her, put her above the everyday rules of fashion?
And the conversation then shifted pretty quickly, actually, from just fashion to perceived media bias, which makes this whole debate way more significant.
How so?
Well, the sources highlighted this really insightful comment, the one people are calling the Kim K defense.
Right, I saw that.
The user basically asked, if the Kim K had it on, they wouldn't say anything. Why can't a young black queen do O?
Wow. That's putting it right out there. It's a direct challenge, suggesting there's a double standard. Like when established white celebs wear something weird or conceptual, it's often praised it's avant-garde.
Mm,
But when young Black influencers make bold, attention-grabbing moves, maybe something that breaks seasonal rules like this, it gets shot down immediately as illogical or just wrong.
precisely. So whether you loved the outfit or hated it, the controversy itself, that's the real win for her. She understands that sparking this kind of debate, all the clicks, the articles, the divided comments, that is the proof of her power. She wins just because we're all sitting here talking about fuzzy boots.
Okay, that's actually a perfect transition. Because, yeah, the boots got the headlines, but it's the multi-million-dollar business behind her that really allows her to take these kinds of risks.
Exactly.
So to understand why the internet might give her that pass, we need to look past the viral moments and see the financial engine driving it all. Let's talk about the business side, the Wait-A-Min blueprint.
Yes, and this is really like a masterclass in turning personal style and online influence into a real scalable business. It's basically an entrepreneur's roadmap for today.
And the starting point is actually pretty humble, considering where she is now. Before all the millions and the controversies, Jayda literally started out just reselling clothes on Poshmark.
Yeah, secondhand clothes, which involves a lot of work, finding items, listing them, packing, shipping.
Definitely not glamorous, but the results were apparently insane, even back then. Sources say she was pulling in something like $50,000 a week before she even finished high school.
Just pause and think about that. Selling 50K's worth of clothes, probably item by item, every single week while you're still a teenager, that proves two things right off the bat.
Right.
One, incredible work ethic, and two, she already had an audience desperate to copy her style.
Right. She wasn't just selling clothes, she was selling her taste.
Exactly. That early success was the market validation. It proved people wanted what she had.
And that gave her the money and the proof, really, to launch her own brand, Wait-A-Min, officially in 2021. But how did she keep it going? How did she avoid just being another online boutique? What's the secret?
I think the key is the authenticity she baked into the brand itself, which mirrors her personal brand. She's apparently super hands-on, involved in picking fabrics, textures, and critically, she tests the stuff herself before it goes on sale.
Okay, so it's not just slapping her name on something.
No, not at all. And that builds real loyalty. Customers feel like they're getting something that Jayda herself has personally approved, personally worn. They trust her eye.
And that trust clearly translated into huge sales, fast. Reports say the demand was just insatiable. She had to quickly get a bigger warehouse, hire more people just to keep up.
Wait-A-Min is now seen as this blueprint for success, especially for other young Black entrepreneurs trying to break into e-commerce.
Yeah.
And her business approach, just like her fashion sense, it embraces risk. She said something like, "I'm literally just strictly doing what makes me happy, and other people happen to like it."
So it connects back.
Totally. She even mentions icons like Lil' Kim as inspiration, that sort of carefree, risk-taking vibe.
Okay, so the fuzzy boots aren't just random. They're part of this larger do what makes me happy philosophy that also drives her business. She trusts her own taste so much, she's betting millions on it, both in her closet and her company. That's the big step of energy right there.
Absolutely. The business success totally validates the style risk. I mean, without Wait-A-Min churning out millions in the background, a weird outfit might just be, well, a weird outfit, a mistake.
Right.
But with that success, the controversial outfit basically becomes a PR move, the press release you wear.
Okay, so we've got the style risk, the business foundation. Let's move to that third pillar you mentioned, which feels maybe the most crucial for long-term loyalty. Her transparency. It's almost uncomfortable sometimes.
It really is. In this world of influencers where everything's filtered and perfect, Jayda's willingness to be brutally honest about her life, especially things like her cosmetic procedures, it feels revolutionary.
Yeah.
And it builds this incredibly deep trust.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just being relatable. It feels like radical honesty. We see influencers apologize, sure, or do these carefully managed reveals, but you rarely see someone break down a failure step by step. Especially something like a medical or cosmetic decision that went wrong.
Exactly. And that brings us to that specific incident last July, the cosmetic confession. It really highlights this approach. It was about redoing her breast surgery.
Tell us about that.
Well, the specifics here are important because they show the real struggle and the actual consequences. She was incredibly open about why the first surgery didn't work out. She admitted she rushed the surgery the first time.
Okay.
And this is the kicker. She admitted she actually lied to my doctor. about waiting the recommended 6 months after breastfeeding before getting the surgery.
Wow. Okay, admitting you lied to your doctor, to millions of followers, that takes guts. That's a level of accountability you just don't see often, especially from people whose brand relies on looking good. It opens you up to so much criticism.
Huge criticism, but also maybe profound trust, right?
How so?
Because she didn't stop there. She shared the real physical result of rushing things. She said, my boobs were back saggy and they just did not heal correctly. Sharing that raw detail, the failure, the physical reality, it shatters that illusion of the perfect, flawless model.
But doesn't that backfire? Doesn't it open her up to criticism like, okay, you're admitting you made risky choices, maybe even lied, and now you're sort of profiting off talking about it? Isn't she still selling a lifestyle that involves these procedures?
See, I think she flips the script. Instead of selling perfection, she's selling the process, the human experience of trying things, messing up, learning. By owning the mistake, she actually positions herself as someone looking out for her audience. Like, hey, I messed up here. This is what really happened. Learn from my mistake.
Okay, so it becomes a warning almost.
Exactly. It transforms her from just someone to admire from afar into, like, a voice of the people, or at least someone who shares the messy parts. And that authenticity, that I messed up too vibe, is arguably way more valuable long-term than the quick buzz from a crazy outfit.
And that must be what creates that super strong bond with her followers. We're talking over 8.8 million on Instagram alone. She becomes less of a model, more of maybe a mentor, someone who's honest about the journey. And that loyalty becomes the safety net that lets her take those style risks and survive the controversies, maybe even benefit from them.
That's it. That deep-seated honesty fuels the loyalty that maybe grants her that pass we talked about earlier. Her audience feels like they know the real her, the journey, not just the polished final product. They're invested because she shared the bumps.
So let's zoom out. What does it all add up to? We're seeing these three core things driving Jayda's power. That commitment to being real, even when it's uncomfortable. The willingness to take big risks with her style, like the boots. And underpinning it all, the solid business she built with Weideman.
And she's not just hoarding that success either. Sources mention her focus on mentoring other young Black entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
That helps cement her legacy beyond just being a fashion figure.
Right. It positions her as potentially building something much bigger, like a global conglomerate, all built on that big Stepa energy.
And this latest outfit drama, it just proves her power again. Love it or hate it, she got everyone talking. The attention itself, the clicks, the debates, that is the currency in the influence economy. She wins because talking about her style inevitably leads people back to her business.
So that's really the final takeaway here, especially if you're interested in how influence works today. The style debate, the Drippin or Drownin question about the fuzzy boots, that's temporary. It'll fade.
It always does.
But the bigger question for you, the listener, to think about is this. As the boot debate dies down, how does Jayda Cheaves' use of that radical honesty, like getting specific about lying to her doctor and the surgery outcome, how does that secure her influence, her audience's loyalty and trust in a way that just wearing risky clothes probably never could on its own?
Yeah, it's building that connection on shared vulnerability, not just on curated cool. Definitely something to mull over when you think about what makes influence stick these days.
Thank you for going on the deep dive with us today. We'll catch you next time.